All persons having anything to do before the Honorable, the Justice E. Susan Gosh of the Superior Court, now sitting at Fall River within and for the Commonwealth. Draw near, give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Court is now in session. Be seated, please.
Today is March 20, 2015. Return to Commonwealth versus Aaron Hernandez, indictment 2013-983.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Have any of you seen or heard or read or overheard anything at all about this case or Mr. Hernandez since I last inquired? There are no firm responses. Have any of you discussed this case or Mr. Hernandez with anyone at all since I last inquired? There are no firm responses. And have any of you had any difficulty following my instructions not to talk about or otherwise communicate about or look at or listen to or do any research about this case or Mr. Hernandez or anything you think could in any way be relevant to the case? There are no firm responses. I want to give you a little preview of next week's schedule. We're going to be stopping on Tuesday at 1 instead of Wednesday, and there will be no session at all on Wednesday. We will be going a full day on Friday, the 27th. So Tuesday we're going to be a half day, and there'll be no session on a Wednesday. Thank you.
I'd call next witness David Gornall, please.
Right this way, sir. Right this way. Please follow me. Going to face the clerk and raise your right hand.
Do solemnly swear that your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Have a seat, sir. You may proceed. Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Would you state your full name?
David Gornall.
And can you spell your last name for us?
Gorneault.
How old are you, sir?
56.
And where did you grow up?
Bristol.
Is that Bristol, Connecticut?
Yes, it is, sir.
Now, when you were growing up in Bristol, Connecticut, did you make the acquaintances of anybody from the Singleton family?
Yes, the whole family.
Okay. When you say the whole family, how many were in the family?
Oh, well, 2 girls at the time and 3 boys.
Okay. And as a result of meeting the Singletons, at some point, did you meet an individual by the name of Thaddeus Singleton?
There's 2 Thaddeus's now, that family.
Okay. And just which Thaddeus did you first meet?
Chippy.
Okay. Is that his nickname?
Yeah.
And you said there's 2. The other Thaddeus, did he have a nickname?
Yeah, TL.
Okay. And what was the relation between those 2?
Uncle and nephew.
And when did you first meet TL Singleton?
A while back.
When you say a while back, some number of years?
About 5, 6, something.
And just describe your relationship with him. Did you become friendly with him?
Yes, he called me Pops.
And over the course of that 5 or 6 years, had he ever come to your home?
Yes, many a times.
Okay. And would that be for social occasions?
Yes. Watch a football game.
Okay. Now, during sometime after becoming friendly with T.L. Singleton, well, let me ask you this. At some point, did you ever meet T.L. Singleton's wife?
Yes.
And what was her name?
Tanya.
And is that Tanya Singleton?
Yes, now it is.
And do you know where they live, T.L. and Tanya?
Lake Avenue.
Do you know what number?
No.
Okay. You're familiar with an address of 114 Lake Avenue?
No.
Okay. Just describe where they lived. What?
Blue house on the corner, across the street from the ballpark.
And how long had they lived there?
I don't know, 3, 4 years.
Okay. Now, sometime after meeting T.L. Singleton, did you meet one of his friends?
Yes.
And who is that?
Bo, Crash.
Okay. When you say Bo Crash, this individual, did you know his true name?
No.
Okay. And did you refer to him as Bo?
I call him Crash.
Okay. Had you ever heard him referred to as Bo?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ever hear him referred to by another nickname?
Fish.
Okay. And how did you meet Bo, Fish, or Crash?
2TL.
And when did you first meet him?
Oh, boy, 4 or 5 years ago? I don't know, something like that.
And just tell us about your relationship with him.
Oh, I see him, we drank a couple beers, watched the game, like I said, about TL. You know, we all hung together off and on.
Okay. Would there be occasions where Bo or Fish or Crash would come to your home?
Yeah, he'll stop by off and on if he's around the neighborhood.
Okay. And what about, were there occasions where the two of them, TL and
Yes.
would come together?
Yes.
You know, if I could just use the opening. So I'm just going to have you direct your attention to the left there on that monitor, putting on the overhead. It was marked exhibit number 20. Do you recognize the individual in this photograph?
A lot more away. Yeah, that's Bo, that's Crash.
And you said you also knew him as Fish. Who called him Fish?
TL.
And,
That's Tanya.
okay, and that's now exhibit 23. You recognize that as Tanya?
Yes.
Now, did you ever have an occasion to go over to the home, Tanya and TL's home at Lake Avenue?
Yes.
Do you know where Bo lived?
Anywhere we could.
Okay, when you say anywhere he could, did you know him ever to stay at Lake Avenue?
Yes.
Okay. And how many occasions had you been over to Lake Avenue?
3, 4 times.
Was there ever an occasion when you were over there that you met an individual by the name of Aaron Hernandez?
Yes.
And Aaron Hernandez, do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yeah, right there.
And when you say right there, just describe what he's wearing, sir.
He's got a tie, a nice jacket.
Your Honor, the record can reflect the witness pointing at the defendant and...
Like he pointed in the direction of the defendant.
Okay. Sir, do you want to tell us what color jacket is he wearing?
Blue.
Okay, and what about his shirt?
A blue.
What about his tie?
Striped blue and gray, it looks like, or light blue. My eyes are bad from here.
Okay. Your Honor, if the record can reflect the identification of the defendant.
May.
Thank you. Now, with, do you know what, if any, relationship there was between the defendant and Bo, TL, or Tanya?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sustained.
When you, on those occasions that, how many occasions did you see the defendant at that home?
Which defendant?
The defendant you've identified.
I've seen him
Aaron
maybe
Hernandez.
once or twice. Twice.
Okay.
Twice.
And who would you see him with?
I seen him with his uncle, and then, excuse me, TL and Bo.
Okay. And did you ever see him in the company of Tanya?
Yes.
And do you know, can you describe the occasion you saw them together?
It was Christmas, I think it was. We were all together.
Okay. Now, I'm going to direct your attention to June, approximately June 18th of 2013. Sometime around that date, did you hear about a homicide that had occurred in North Attleboro, Massachusetts?
Yes, my wife, seen
You've
it
answered the question.
And sir, at some point when you said, just with regard to hearing about it, just focusing on the time you heard about it, within a few days
Yes,
of hearing
2 days,
about it.
3 days.
Okay. Within a few days of hearing it, did anyone come to your home?
Yeah, about the same time Bo did,
Okay. And when you say Bo,
and TL.
okay. And how long after when you first heard about it, do you recall seeing Bo?
About probably another day after, maybe, or something.
And at that time, Do you know, were you expecting him?
No. They just popped in.
And when you say popped in,
Stopped in.
strike that, stopped in, do you know how they're traveling?
Yeah, well, Bo had a Chrysler 300, silver one.
And had you seen him in that vehicle before?
No.
Prior to that occasion that he stopped in, when was the last time you had seen him?
I don't know, about a week before that, about a week and a half before that, something like that. Yeah, he was driving a silver tan Suburban, like.
Okay. And do you know what kind of plates that silver tan Suburban had on it?
I think it was Jersey, I'm not sure.
Okay. Now, when he stopped in on this date, just describe his demeanor.
And which date you talking about, sir?
I'm sorry, on the day you saw him when he showed up with the Chrysler, the silver Chrysler.
He was very quiet, didn't talk much. He said, "Hello, Pops." And then, I don't know, he sat down and he asked me to borrow my phone.
Okay. And just describe his personality generally on the prior occasions that he would come to visit.
He would talk a little bit more than what he did. He was quiet. He was to himself.
Okay. And so, at some point, you indicated he asked to borrow your phone?
Yes.
And did you allow him to borrow your phone?
Of course.
Okay. And when he borrowed your phone, did he go anywhere?
He went outside for a while.
Okay. And how long would you say he was outside?
About 20 minutes, half an hour. He was all together, probably about 45 minutes he used the phone.
Okay. And then after that time, what happened?
TL stopped by, too.
Okay. And how long after the, you said all told, approximately 45 minutes using the phone?
Yes.
And then what happened from there? Did he stay there at your home, or did he...
He stayed for a few minutes longer, and then him and TL talked, and they both took their cars and took off.
Okay. Now, prior to Bo or Fish taking off, did he indicate to you an intention to travel somewhere?
Yeah, he said he was going back to Jersey to work with his uncle.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, sir?
He went back to New Jersey to work with his uncle. That's what he said to me. He's going back to Jersey to work with his uncle.
Now, at that time, what was your phone number?
860-940-4106.
Now, as a result of, or at some point thereafter, were you contacted by somebody from the police?
Yes.
And at that time, how long after, if you recall?
I'd say a month.
And at that time, did they speak to you?
Yes.
I could have one moment, Your Honor, please. Did you see Bo or Fish after that?
After what part?
After he left, saying he was heading to New Jersey?
No, I haven't.
Okay. I could have one moment.
Me.
Nothing further, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, you referred to Bo as, by the nickname of Crash.
Yes, sir.
Is that a nickname that you created
Yes,
for
I did.
Bo?
Yes, I did.
And is that because he was regularly crashing cars and motorcycles?
Yeah, you got that right.
Automobile accidents?
Yeah, yes, sir.
And so you and others in the Bristol community called him Crash from time to time?
I'm objecting.
All right.
No. Okay.
Can I go?
You may.
Yeah, we call him Crash. We always call him Bo or Fish, though.
Bo, some people call him Bo.
Yeah,
Some people call him Fish.
But I always call him Crash.
You always called him Crash.
Yeah.
Now, you pointed out Mr. Hernandez, right?
Yes.
This gentleman here.
Yes.
And I think you said that you met him a couple of times.
Yes, sir.
So, one time was over when Tanya and Tio got married, is that right?
That was at their Jack and Jill, sir.
A party for them?
Yes.
Okay. And where was that?
That was American Legions in Bristol on Riverside Avenue.
All right. And then there was another time that you met Mr. Hernandez at a Christmas party.
Christmas Eve.
I'm sorry?
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve party?
Yes.
At the house on Lake Avenue?
Yes.
And other than those two times, you've never met Mr. Hernandez?
I've met him once before that, I think.
One other time?
I think so.
The most recent time before June of 2013 was at the Christmas Eve
Yes,
party?
sir.
And at that time, you shared a marijuana cigarette with him?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, and I think you said that Crash was at that party?
Yes.
And TL and Tanya and a bunch of other people?
Correct.
And that was true at the Jack and Jill party that was
Correct.
at the American Legion Hall?
Correct. Correct.
And there was a fairly large group of people at both parties?
Yes, sir.
And these were people that you've known over the years,
Yes, sir.
some more than others?
Yes, sir.
I think you said you had known Mr. TL for 5 or 6 years?
Probably more than that. I can't
Probably more
keep
than
track.
that?
Can't
Maybe
remember.
10
Huh?
10 or 12 years?
About 8 to 10.
Okay. And you had known Bo for 5 or 6, 4 or 5
Yes,
years?
yes, right. Correct.
And what you said that Bo dropped in on you sometime in mid-June, right?
Right.
And he was driving a Chrysler,
Yeah.
and it was unannounced.
Yeah, he never
No,
calls.
He
Him-
never calls. Is that what you just
Him
said?
and TL always stop by, never call. They would just pop in and say, "Whoa, Pops, what's happening? How you doing, Mom?" Because you call my wife Mom.
And so they would come and sit a spell and visit, or watch a football game, or have a bite to eat.
Yes.
And there were times when TL would actually stay over at your
Yes,
house.
correct.
And for some period of time, he actually lived there for a few days.
Yes, he did.
And sometimes Bo would crash or would crash there.
Yeah.
Okay. And you had a number of phone calls in this period of time, June 18, June 19, with Bo. Is that right?
I didn't have it.
Well, do you remember he called your number and spoke to you or your wife?
Yeah,
Number
my
times?
wife told me, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And do you remember that he called looking for drugs?
He always did.
He was always looking for drugs.
Yeah, well, not drugs, drugs. You know, pills.
He was looking for, sometimes for weed,
No, I don't have nothing to do with that, man. No way.
Percocets,
Yeah.
angel dust.
No, 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 no.
You ever seen Mr. Bo or Crash using angel dust?
No,
Did you know him to use angel dust?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Okay. You've heard that he's a
I'm going to object,
heavy
Your Honor.
user of that?
Thank you.
Object.
All right.
Move to strike.
Motion to strike the line.
That's all. Thank you very much.
Sir, who called him Crash?
I did.
Okay. Beyond yourself?
A few other people.
Okay. Is that a nickname you made up?
Yes.
If I could approach you, I'm just going to show you just a couple questions about the Chrysler. Showing 129A. Recognize this style of vehicle?
Yes, it was. Looks just like the one that was at the...
I'm just going to show you this one, 129B. That you recognize this style of vehicle?
Yeah, it's almost the same one. I never check people's cars out, you know?
How long, strike that. That's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
You may step down.
I'm going to call the next witness, Elizabeth Cornwall.